Hi guys, Korean movie recapped here. Before we start, warning, spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to recap a Korean romantic comedy film released in 2012, called Architecture 101. This movie tells the first love story of two young souls. Years later, they meet again in a fateful encounter. Will fate finally unite them? Let's find out together. The story begins with the arrival of Yoon at her abandoned childhood house on Jeju Island. Yoon plans to rebuild this house as a recovery place for her ill father when he gets discharged from the hospital. To make it happen, she decides to find someone from her past to help her rebuild the house. She goes to an architecture firm to meet her old friend Min. At first, Min seems to doesn't recognize Yoon. But after some talk, he remembers her as his friend from university. Things get a little bit awkward between them, but the reason seems to be not clear yet. She then tells him about her project and wants to hire him. For some reason, Min refuses her request. But after his boss agrees to the project, he doesn't have any other choice. Min then goes to a cafe with Yoon to talk more about the project. He asks various things about the project background. But Yoon feels like he is second-guessing her reason for the project, so she gets annoyed and leaves him. Min follows her calmly and brings her car key and phone that she left on the table. He then explains to the pouting Yoon that he needs to know her fully to design the proper house. That's why he asked her a lot of questions. It brings back a smile to the cheeky Yoon. On the way to the abandoned house, she tells him about her life after graduating from university. Things didn't go well, so she just got married. But she doesn't have any children yet. Although she doesn't tell him directly, it looks like her marriage isn't working out. After they get there, she shows him around the house. The house still has signs from her childhood, like the height marker on the wall and her footprint on the hardened cement. After Min understands enough, he starts making the design and then presents it to Yoon. But Yoon doesn't like the design, so they go to a cafe again to discuss more. This time, Min's co-worker, Chai, joins them. After a long talk about the project, they start to talk about Min and Yoon's past. Chai wonders how they got close even though they had a different major back at university. Did they meet on a blind date? Or there's more to their story? Let's go back to 15 years ago to get the answer. Yoon was a music major and attended the Architecture 101 class for her optional extra course. That's where Min sees her for the first time. At the first meeting of the class, the professor tells them to draw the route they take to campus in front of the class. This way, they can understand their city more before going into architecture basics. Min finds out his route is the same as Yoon's, which means they are neighbors. The professor then assigns them to observe the buildings around where they live. After class, Min hangs out with Jae, a popular rich senior who takes the same class with him. Suddenly, Yoon greets Jae from afar. It turns out that they are in the same radio club. This makes Min know a bit more about her from Jae. On the way back home, Min notices Yoon on the same bus but still doesn't dare to start a conversation. Min then meets his high school best friend, Nab, a repeater who still tries to get into university. He seems to be a master of love and teaches Min to style his look better. Back at home, Min lives alone with her mother, who works really hard to do house chores while also selling meat at the market. She doesn't earn much, but enough to support the two of them. On the next day, he goes around his neighborhood for his assignment. He tries to take a photo when suddenly Yoon gets into the frame. Min awkwardly tries to get out of the situation when Yoon greets him. Min lived there since his childhood, while Yoon just moved there for university. So he knows more about the neighborhood. This makes Yoon pull Min around to ask about stuff. After chatting and walking for a while, they find an abandoned classic-style house. The cheeky Yoon curiously goes inside as Min follows hesitantly. The house feels homely, quiet, and comfortable. They talk more there and get to know each other. Since they live close to each other, they decide to do the following assignments together. This makes Min a little bit excited. On their next class assignment, they are asked to go to a faraway place and decide to go to the furthest route of the local bus. On the roof of a tall building, they talk about their private life and discuss their family situation. They start to get closer to each other as they listen to Yoon's favorite music on the CD player together. The next day, Min hangs out at Jae's house. He is amazed by Jae's brand new Pentium computer. Jae is wealthy, so it's nothing for him. Jae then boasts about how he has his way with a girl easily. On the way back home, Min visits her mother at the market. Near there, he accidentally meets Yoon. Yoon then takes Min to the empty house they found the other day. Min is surprised after knowing Yoon has cleaned and tidied the house. It becomes their little secret base. At the house, they chill and chat some more. Min tries his best and asks if Yoon has a boyfriend. She turns out to be single but admires Jae like many other girls in their club. He is handsome and rich, which makes him popular among girls. This somehow makes Min feel jealous. On the night, he meets his best friend Nab to get some advice as he starts to realize that he has a crush on Yoon. They have a long bro-to-bro talk as Nab gives him some advice and plans his next move. On the next day, they walk together again and find out that it is Yoon's birthday. They celebrate her birthday with a simple meal together. They chat with each other discussing the future. Yoon has a dream to build a house in a beautiful place and makes Min promise to build her dream house in the future. Yoon gives a down payment for Min to design her future home with her favorite music CD. They hang out until the night, which makes Yoon tired and falls asleep on Min's shoulder. Fascinated and not wanting to waste the opportunity, Min steals a kiss from the sleeping Yoon. Not long after that, Yoon wakes up. It makes Min shits his pants because he thinks he gets caught. But it looks like she doesn't notice it. On the next morning, Min tells it all to Nab. The disappointed master Nab tells him what a real kiss should be and motivates him to do much more. On the first day of Yoon's broadcast at her club, Min comes to see her. But their time is disturbed by Jae offering them a ride home in his car. On the way, Jae and Yoon chat while Min pretends to be asleep in the backseat. Jae invites Yoon to come to his apartment, to which she agrees. Jae also notices the fake brand on Min's shirt and mocks it. Min gets ashamed and decides to get off in the middle of the trip. Back at home, he gets so frustrated and gets into an argument with his mother. How can he compete with the rich and popular Jae? Min then goes to his only best friend Nab to get more advice. A few weeks after that, Yoon moves into another apartment. Min helps her move to the new apartment. There, they look over Yoon's childhood photo album together. They are both sad that they no longer live close to each other. Since winter is coming, they promise to meet at the secret base during the first snowfall. This brings joy to Min since it seems he still has a chance. He opens up Yoon's drawing of her future home and plans something. On the last day of the Architecture 101 class, the students are going to have an after-class party. Yoon is looking for Min, but he's nowhere to be found. It turns out he is waiting at Yoon's apartment to give her a model of her dream house. But Yoon doesn't know it and goes to the party with Jae and the others. Jae keeps pushing alcohol to Yoon, even though she wants to go straight home. Min waits until night when he sees the drunk Yoon back with Jae. Jae tries to steal a kiss, but the drunk Yoon tries to avoid it. Min just stands at the corner and sees Jae bringing the drunk Yoon inside her apartment. Min tries to muster up his courage to open the door, but he chickens out. Only gods know what they are doing inside. Min immediately leaves and cries his sorrow with his best friend Nab. The next day Yoon finds the miniature of her dream house made by Min in the trash outside her apartment and realizes that Min was waiting for her yesterday. Knowing this, Yoon tries to find Min and explains that she tried to contact him many times yesterday. But he didn't answer because he wanted to surprise her. The already devastated Min decides to end their relationship and returns the CD that she gave. Finally he asks Yoon to disappear from his life. On the first day of snow, the two of them come to the secret base as promised. But not at the same time, so they don't see each other. Since then, the two of them have never met again. Until years later at Min's office. Back at the present time at the office, Chai suggests that instead of rebuilding the childhood house, it's better to renovate it. Yoon really likes the idea and approves it. She tries to express her gratitude to Min by buying him an expensive tie and inviting him to a private dinner. Maybe she is still hoping to rekindle their old relationship. To her surprise, Min brought Chai to the dinner. This makes Yoon hesitate to give the tie. To make things worse, she soon finds out that Min and Chai are actually a couple and will be married soon. After dinner, Yoon gives the tie to her father instead. Meanwhile, Min and Chai are arguing about moving to the USA after their marriage. It makes Min stressed about the living cost there. The house construction process starts and goes smoothly. They both monitor the progress together. After that, they take a walk together and discuss about Min's first love. But of course, he can't answer it honestly to Yoon. On the way back from the island, Yoon overhears Min arguing with his mother on the phone. Yoon reminds him to be and to not leave his mom alone. But Min becomes sensitive because he has a lot on his mind about his marriage and his move to the USA. He accidentally talks about Yoon's non-existent husband, which angers her out of embarrassment. Luckily, they talk over some night snacks and drinks and apologize to each other. Yoon tells Min about her unhappy marriage, which will end in divorce soon. Things seem to be going south for Yoon, which makes the drunk Yoon end up crying on Min's shoulder. Yoon's father's condition is getting worse. She wants to make her father happier by adding an elegant piano room to the house. This requires Min to redesign the house, which makes the work longer. This will affect Min's wedding plans with Chai. Chai is against the idea and forces Min to drop out of the project. But in the end, Min still wants to continue the project he had started. After some hard work, the house is finally finished. Yoon stares at Min as the exhausted Min sleeps on the grassy rooftop. At night, Min helps Yoon move in. Then they have another chat leading to Min confessing about his first love to Yoon. Yoon laughs it out and confesses she knew it all along. She was even awake when he stole her first kiss. Before something mischievous happens between them, Min decides to head back. While he moves the last box, he finds the old house miniature that he threw away. This makes him frustrated, and he confronts Yoon about her intention of approaching him after all these years. In tears, Yoon finally confesses that Min is also her first love. They both become speechless until Min kisses her on the lips. But it was just a goodbye kiss to seal their old story. Life goes on, and Min continues his wedding plan with Chai. Before going to the US, Min has a heart-to-heart chat with his mother. Min asks his mother whether he should stay because he worries about her living alone. But of course, his loving mother forbids it. She even offers him her life savings as a wedding gift. What makes Min shattered is when he sees his mother still wearing the knockoff t-shirt he threw away years ago. The movie ends with Min and Chai departing to the USA, while Yoon lives with his father in the house Min designed. She opens a piano course there and lives her life peacefully. The magic of our first love is our ignorance that it can never end. Sometimes being naive is a blessing, but most of the time, it isn't. You will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. What do you think about Min and Yoon's tales of love? Let us know what you think in the comment below. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you next time.